Welcome back to the show, beautiful. At some point, you're going to decide enough is enough. Enough of feeling stuck, enough of doing all the right things and still not seeing results, enough of questioning yourself, wondering what I'm doing wrong, enough of just living the life that you're living and not inside the life that you have on your heart, right? We've all been there. And when you decide enough is enough, in that moment, something will shift. You will decide that you want change. And I really want you to celebrate that, because when you get to that moment, when you decide enough is enough, I want change, that is a massive step, because maybe for years you've carried this around, feeling the way that you're feeling, or with these goals in your mind that you're not achieving them. So really celebrate that, because it's exciting. As Tony Robbins says, it's a pattern breaker, right? You've gone and lived your life up until this point, and then you're like, enough is enough, I want change. You're breaking the pattern. Celebrate it, because from that point, you become unstoppable. And I see this in my private clients all the time before we start working together. It's like, enough is enough. I want change. Let's do this. Now, here's what I want you to know. Any goal that you have, whether it's a health goal, a business goal, a financial goal, a relationship goal, a life goal, whatever it is, you can achieve it using these 3 steps I'm going to walk you through today. And these aren't your typical just set a goal and hustle harder steps either. These go deeper. And these are the ones that are actually going to create lasting change. I've proven this over and over and over again. This is what I did to achieve my goals many, many years ago and continue to do it today. And then what I also help my clients do every single day. So let's get straight into it. Step 1 is know your why. I was actually chatting to my sister about this week, actually. She was asking how I stay consistent all of the time, because I've been consistent for many, many years. Honestly, it's my superpower, because she's about to step into some really big goals this year. Now, she's usually someone that might get really excited. She'll set a goal, but then either she'll hold herself back with procrastination, or she'll start off really strong and then taper off, a couple of days or a couple of weeks later. And I said to her, it's really simple. My why, or my mission, is so incredibly strong that it keeps me going even on the days that I just can't be bothered showing up. Honestly, that's what I said to her. And she got back, she was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much for sharing this. I'm going to work on my why, because that's what's going to help me actually move through with consistency, right? And actually achieve these goals. Because your why will get you through everything. And I mean everything. Because motivation, it will come and go. Discipline will feel hard some days as well. And life will always throw things at you. I always say, when you declare a new goal or something you're working towards, the universe is going to put things in your path. It's like 9 times out of 10, Murphy's Law. It's like, if you really want this thing, the universe is going to test you. It's going to give you more chaos in your life. It's going to give you more challenges. It's going to put roadblocks in the way. It's like, do you really want this thing? I was literally explaining this to a client the other day. She was having a rough day, and she was like, I feel like I'm falling behind and I'm not gaining momentum. And I said, that is what always happens when you set these new goals, because we just started working together. She really wanted to gain momentum and have this like path, kind of like this perfect path, I guess, moving forward. And I said to her, this is life. If we can get it right when life is chaotic and life is stressful, imagine life when it's easeful. Like, this is just going to feel so easy. So celebrate that, and everything will pan out in the most divine time. So it's so important to keep showing up in this moment, because your why is what anchors you. It's what pulls you forward on the days that you literally just don't feel like it. It's what keeps you showing up even when it'd be easier to quit. So I'm going to share my why really soon as well. But basically that was the conversation I had with my sister and my client recently. It's like, you need to have a why, because it's going to lead you through life even when shit hits the fan, or even when life is so stressful, because it's never going to look a certain way, and it's never going to look perfect. This is my why, and you'll see really, really quickly how it's not surface level, and it actually goes into so much depth that you can see how it gets me up every morning. It gets me moving my body. It gets me committed to my meditation. It gets me to fueling my body with really good foods. It gets me to show up behind the microphone on my podcast, to film my vlog every day, to write my book, which I'm currently working on. It is so ingrained into my life now that this is my why. My why is to wake up feeling abundantly happy and grateful for my life, to feel light and lean within my body and radiate love and health through all that I do, to age gracefully, to be the best role model for my daughter, and to inspire women everywhere to live with purpose and positivity. See how this has more depth than I want to lose 10 kilos so my thighs don't look big? Or, whatever your surface level goal is. That why drives everything in life. So I want you to implement this into your life as well. I want you to get out a piece of paper or the note section in your phone, and I want you to write your why. Really have a think about it. Why do you do what you do? Why do you want this goal? How do you want to feel? It has to evoke that emotion inside you. Like, think about if you're a parent. Your why is so strong to be a parent, right? Even on the hard days, we keep showing up. We keep parenting. We keep doing the thing because we want to inspire our children. We want our children to have the best life possible. Like, that's what gets us out of bed. That's what keeps us showing up as parents. Sometimes we forget that we actually are practicing this in our everyday life, but we forget about it in other areas. So maybe you're forgetting to put your why in your career. Maybe you're forgetting to put your why in your health. Maybe you're forgetting to put your why in some other area of life. So think about how you can bring more depth and more purpose to this goal. And you can take my why and you can play around with it too if it's really calling you and you're really resonating with it as well. So remember, on the days that you don't feel like showing up, when you feel tired, when you feel triggered, when you want to go back to old habits, when you want to quit, the moments when you're about to come back to the beginning, think about your why. Because honestly, that's going to change so much for you. Step 2, get crystal clear on your vision. Now, I've spoken about this on the podcast a lot. You have to know exactly what you're creating, not just logically, but emotionally as well. So very similar to our why, you need to be able to see it and you need to be able to feel it and you need to be able to step into it, like to embody it. And I always say, if it's in your vision, if you're doing a job that you don't like, but you've got this career or this dream job in your mind, or you're trying to achieve a health goal and you're feeling really frustrated, you're not liking the way your body's looking and feeling, but you had this vision of you feeling light and lean and energized in your body and calm in your mind. If you have that vision, you've been walking around with it for years, whether you're driving and that's where you find your mind wandering back to that, or when you're about to go to sleep at night, or whatever it is. If you can see it in your mind, it's meant for you. So you don't want to let that slide. You don't want to get to your deathbed, however many years down the track, and look back and think, I didn't do that thing. I didn't actually execute it. I didn't do it. Like, it was actually meant for you. You don't want to take that to the grave. You want it to become your reality. So again, if your goal doesn't evoke that emotion in your body, it's not deep enough. It's not big enough, or it's not deep enough. And you won't move mountains to make it happen. So we don't want to be saying things like, I just want to lose 10 kilos. There's no emotion behind that. There's no identity in that. There's no life in that. Instead, I want you to ask yourself, who is the woman that has already achieved this? So close down your eyes and really picture that woman. Bring her to your vision right now. How does she feel in her body? How does she walk into a room? How does she show up in her relationships? How does she dress? How does she speak to herself? How does she show up in her business or her career? How does she feel in her life when she has the abundance? What does her life actually look like right now? As though it's already happened. Picture all those things, your daily routines. When you look in the mirror, what is the reflection? How are you dressing? How are you holding yourself? How is your energy? Who are the people you're interacting with every day? How are you showing up in the roles in your life, whether that's parenting, whether that's in your career or your business? Really get super clear on it. Let me remind you, it's not about the number on the scale or necessarily even the number in your bank account. It's about the feeling when you have that health, the feeling when you have the abundance, the feeling when you have that role that you're desiring. Whether it's confidence, whether it's a sense of freedom, whether it's ease, whether it's joy, whether it's connection, whatever it is, think about that feeling, because that's what you're actually chasing. When you've got a feeling and you're evoking an emotion with that vision, and you team that with your why, see how we're bringing it all together? That's when you're going to start gaining momentum and you're going to become unstoppable and literally limitless in your life. You can show up and make anything happen. I always say, for women that come to me and say, I want to lose 10 kilos, I'm like, sweet, I can get that off you. No worries, that's science. That's science when it comes to health. But let's look at what's going to keep those results and then what's going to go deeper and deeper and deeper. So you're not just losing, you keep on life just keeps getting better and better and better. Your body keeps getting better. Your life around you keeps getting better. The way you feel keeps getting better. It has to evoke that emotion. Okay, step 3, act from the end point. I love what Neville Goddard says. He says, assume the feeling of the wish fulfilled. So this is where everything changes, right? You don't wait until you achieve the goal to become that person. You become her now. This is what we call acting from the end point, or reverse engineering. You may have heard that term. You take that clear vision that we've just created and you ask yourself, what is she doing right now? What are her habits? What are her standards? What does she tolerate? What does she no longer tolerate? What does she say no to? How does she set boundaries? What decisions is she making daily? How is she fueling her body? How is she moving every day? Think about all the actions that you can actually start taking action on now. So this is how we bring the endpoint, so your goal, to reality much, much quicker. We look at the person or the goal achieved at the end and we start reverse engineering it. What are things that I can start doing in my day now? Whether they're habits, rituals, actions to take, people to reach out to, boundaries to set, schedules to create, whatever it is, how can I start doing that now? And then you bring that goal much quicker into your reality because you look at the end point and you act from that. And even taking away the timelines, like take away the timelines to achieve a goal. Instead of saying, I'm going to achieve that in 12 months time and I'm going to do this thing and I'm going to slowly get there. What if you just started doing those things from the end point now? Like how much quicker could you actually get there? And you will be surprised when you start acting from the end point, even the way you speak, the words you use, how you show up, how you talk to people, how you start telling people your goals as though they already happened. It brings it into your reality so much quicker. Opportunities come in, things come up in your life. It's pretty amazing. Like even if the woman that you envision gets up at 5 o'clock every morning and she moves her body and then she eats delicious, nourishing meals, start doing that now. Start acting from that endpoint now, and you will notice how quickly you make that your reality. And when you start making those decisions now, not later, not when you feel ready, not when you've lost the weight or you've made the money or whatever your goal is, now, that's when everything shifts at rapid speed. Because the truth is, the version of you who has the results, she thinks differently, she chooses differently, and she lives differently. And when you start embodying that now, you literally collapse the time between where you are and where you want to be. And you bring that reality into your present moment so much faster. So if you take anything from today, let it be this. This is not just about achieving a goal. This is about becoming the woman who naturally lives that reality. So let's go over those steps again. Number 1, know your why. Number 2, get crystal clear on your vision. And number 3, start acting from the end point. Because remember, this is what I say over and over and over again. If nothing changes, nothing changes. But if you decide today that you are done sitting in the same patterns and the same cycles and the same frustration and the same life, everything can shift by taking these 3 steps. Know your why, get crystal clear in your vision, and start taking action from the endpoint. This could be your moment. I'd love to hear from you. Jump over into my Instagram at Hayley_Morcom and let me know what you think. Let me know what you're taking action on today. And if you need help, reach out and I will help you get started. I'll speak to you next time. Mwah!